excited? Okay, okay. Hello, children. Welcome back. Hello, Dorian. Nice to have you
Hello.
here again. Okay, so we're definitely into the iceberg now.
Yeah.
This is the first one that I'll just label for now as just a bit rough, bit rough.
Mm,
And it's a Serbian film.
yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a Serbian film, Dorian. We were going to get here. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course it was going to be here.
Inevitable.
It was
Yeah.
totally inevitable, whatever angle we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, just before the human centipede, you have to do, this thing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? What's your history?
Mm.
What do you feel?
Oh,
Talk to me about the Serbian.
um, I I heard about a Serbian film. It would have been not too long after it came out because this came out in 2010. So it would have been maybe at most a few years afterwards, and people just saying like, "Oh my God, no, that movie's so fucked up." Yeah, I watched it, blah blah blah. And I was like, "Oh, okay, good to know." And then a while
Hmm.
later, I
Hmm.
was like, "It's this is going to be one of those movies I'm going to have to watch, so then I, at the very least, can say that I've seen it."
Had you seen
Okay,
anything
okay.
extreme before
Um,
then to this level? Like Martyrs,
yeah. Oh yeah,
Frontiers?
yeah. I'd seen Martyrs. Yeah, I'd
Okay,
seen
okay,
Martyrs.
okay.
I love Martyrs.
Not to compare the
But yeah,
films,
so I'm like,
but just
oh,
violence
oh,
level
yeah. I mean,
wise.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm
yeah.
gonna have to, I'm gonna have to watch a Serbian film at some point, at least just
Hmm.
so I can say that I've seen
You
it.
got to. You've got
And
to. If you're in
then,
this world,
yeah,
if you're of this life, you have to,
yeah,
basically. Yeah.
exactly. And then I watched it, and I was really surprised by
Hmm.
how much I liked it.
Okay, that's interesting. No, that's interesting. We'll
Yeah,
get into
because there
that.
are there's certain notorious scenes. People talk about it just purely based on the concept, completely devoid of the context in which that scene is
Hmm.
in.
Hmm.
And then when you actually
Hmm.
see it within context, it's like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, okay. And it it has like the last 40 minutes or so has a bit of a Memento kind of vibe because he's kind of like trying to figure out what happened and recovering those memories, and you, the viewer, you are along for the ride with him. And from that point onwards, I was glued to the screen. And same thing again on this rewatch, just like, oh my
Okay.
God,
Okay.
just so I was very
Okay.
surprised at how much I liked it first time me watching it.
Do you call yourself a fan of a Serbian film?
um I mean, I understand why people feel the way they do about it, but
Mm.
also some of those people have never watched the movie, let alone even read a plot breakdown.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll let you
And so
speak
it's
to
kind of
that
like,
once we get into past
yeah. And
spoilers. Yeah.
so, yeah, like that frustrates me
Hmm.
because it's like, how can you have an opinion on something if you don't actually know what happens in the movie? You don't know the context of those scenes or
Context
anything
is a
like
big
that.
thing.
Like,
Yes.
yeah. And like
With this movie.
I
Yeah.
completely understand. Yeah, I completely understand why people feel the way that they do about it. This isn't me trying to say, no, you're wrong. It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
more,
Yeah. 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 I get you. I
yeah.
get you. Yeah. 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 It's a tricky one. And if you have never
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
this film,
Mm,
just bear with us, bear with
yeah.
us. Yeah,
Yeah.
because no, yeah, we want because we don't want to. We're not
Yeah.
here to,
Yeah. We watch
uh,
it, so you don't have to.
yeah. Okay, thank you. It's definitely one of those. It's definitely one of those. Yeah, it's infamous. It's
Mm,
in the top five of the most extreme,
yeah.
most sick, disturbing movies of all time. It's on every top 10 list. It
Mm,
has,
yeah.
and it has to be with good reason,
Yeah.
because it is fucked up. The funny thing though is you said that you liked it, and there are definitely aspects of this As much as it annoys me, is really good. It's like really high
Mm,
production level,
yeah.
blockbuster level production
Yeah.
values have gone into the creation of this film. And so,
Yeah.
you know, and the pacing's like excellent.
Mm,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Um, the plot breakdown, everything works, and you're right, it does flip the script in the second half
Mm,
act, whatever you want to call it. It
yeah.
becomes very experimental. And before you get the memento, you know, the sort of like parallel timelines, yeah, that are going on, because it works as
Mm,
parallel action along one timeline, and you don't
yeah.
really understand it. Like, why is he seeing him through the car sitting there? And then it's yeah, da, da, da.
Yeah.
Because it comes
And then
from
also,
crazy. Sorry, just one sec. Before that, there's
mm,
a whole bunch of crazy, fucked up montages and
yeah.
freakouts and
Yeah.
flashbacks before that. Yeah, and but before
Yeah.
that, it's a thriller. It's a perfectly composed thriller in
Yes.
the first half
Yes.
that hints at
Yeah.
extremity. And then in the second act, I guess you would say is where the extremity
Mm,
happens. But yeah, not to
yeah.
jump ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in those moments where he's kind of trying to piece together what had happened, like in
Spoilers
terms of
haven't go
how
away
those,
now.
yeah,
Go away now. Go away now.
how
Carry
how
on,
those
Dorian.
scenes look, like in terms of like the color grading and all that, is noticeably different. So you can, once you
Mm,
realize, oh,
mm,
okay, this is a him, remembering what had happened. Okay, so in that case, every single time scenes look like this is what's happening in, like, real time, I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
when
yeah, yeah,
something
totally.
happens that looks like this is him getting a memory kind of thing,
Hmm.
and so
Hmm.
that's really well conveyed, and so you're able to
Yeah.
pick up on, oh, okay, like this is a memory, this is what's actually happening very, very
Hmm.
quickly.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No, it's nicely
Yeah.
done. It's nicely done.
Mm.
And so the skill behind this, so point being is that I see why
Yeah.
someone would like this if you can
Mm.
get past everything that's shown. And
Yes,
I do
yes,
mean to
yeah,
say the word
absolutely.
shown
Yes.
in
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, basically they're making an extreme porn film, so like all the kinds of sexual violence that you can imagine. Yeah, it's probably gonna happen in it.
it's a hyper violent, yeah,
So,
porn.
yeah. Yeah, so
Um,
if sexual violence is a hard no for you, then this movie is a hard no.
yeah, so this
Straight out
is
the
your
gate.
warning
The end.
as well. Because everything you could imagine gross, yeah, they do it. And if it's
Hmm.
not in the movie, just know they would do it if they thought of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This one guy, what is his name? The director.
Uh, yeah. I do not know how to pronounce Eastern European names, so I
Mhm,
have no idea.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, at the very most, I can spell it out. So first name is Sardan and surname Spasojevicc. It has stuff happening above letters, etc. So go take a look. Go take a look.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's written by him and let's say Alex. You see the name there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know any of these people. Never heard of them before.
No.
Of course, this
No.
guy, it took a very long time until now this year. He has a new movie coming out,
Oh,
a murder
okay.
mystery thriller thing. It's taken
Yeah.
him 14 years
Cool.
for people to
Yeah.
allow him to do a new one after this number.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Gee, I wonder why.
14 years. I'm keen to see it. It's going to
Oh,
be under a major studio. I think it's
apparently,
Paramount.
yeah.
Paramount? Is that correct?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. I'm
Um,
looking at his
oh, that's okay. I think
on
okay, all good.
Letterboxd. Apparently he did a segment in the ABCs of Death.
Yeah, that's it. It's R for
I
what?
don't know which segment.
It's R. It is R. I forget what.
I don't know. Is it R?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's R.
Yeah,
It's
I
R.
forget.
Oh, that's all good. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So he did one in that, and now he's allowed to do a feature film. That's right. That's right. Because no, he is good. It's just that okay.
Mm,
I'll bring up what I've read
mm.
um on here because we're going to
Yeah,
talk about the
I did a
context of
brief
it.
read on the
Yeah,
I
because
did a
there's
brief read on the
something
Wikipedia.
about the political messaging of this and whether it's solid
Yes.
or not. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Mm,
cool, cool. Okay. Okay, for me, this film, pretty much the same. I got
Yeah.
over here in 2011. This film saw it everywhere over Facebook because, as
Mm,
I'm sure,
yeah. One
algorithms,
particular
feeds,
moment in particular, yeah.
it comes up and it kept coming up
Mm,
and kept hearing about it. So, yeah, there's a meme out there that afterwards, after this event, after this night of mine, that conveys it beautifully. Synchronicity in the universe. It's great. It's the
mm,
Muppet one where it says the double feature when you've just watched whatever
yeah.
way it goes, a Serbian film and the
Yeah.
human centipede. There'll be a human centipede
Yeah.
has finished,
Yeah.
and then the credits roll for a Serbian film, however it's worded. Yeah. I did that to myself one night.
Yeah.
I did that to myself one
I
night.
would genuinely put on a double feature like that for people.
It did
If
work in that sense.
if ahead of time, yeah, if ahead of time
Mm.
I knew that everyone involved would be fine with it, then
Mhm.
yes, I absolutely would put that on as a
Yeah,
double
yeah, no, no. In
feature.
that sense, as a billing,
But
no,
I
it
would
definitely
make
worked.
sure that everyone was on board with it before I did it.
Yeah. And make sure you feel all right beforehand.
Mm.
Because yeah.
The
But afterwards,
ending for this movie, oh,
human centipede, I
oh.
have a love affair. The ending for this movie, I do not have. Yeah, no,
Oh God, it's
no, I don't
so
have love for it.
depressing and I love it. It's so miserable.
It is
It's a
total misery.
gut punch every
But hold on,
time.
let's work our way towards that. All right. Yeah, so I watched it and I went, yep,
Mm,
okay, that's a
yeah,
movie. That's a fucking movie.
yeah.
And yeah, and then not until this really have come back to them. Yeah, so yeah, that was when was that? That was still in New Zealand. So I watched
Mm,
this basically in 2010. If I
yeah.
got here in 2011, because I watched this in New
Oh
Zealand, yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
So I would have watched this close to coming out, which is interesting because it's now banned outright forever in New Zealand. Yeah, they want no piece of this. Yeah, scaredy cats. Anyway, so yeah, banned everywhere, as you can imagine. It's very
Mm,
controversial, but you can
yeah.
find it. You can find it, trust
Yes.
me. Effedupmovies.com. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
correct URL they're doing. Yeah, that's where
Yes.
we found it. Yes.
Yes.
There's 1 minute, the Australian version that you can buy in, hard copy of.
Mm.
There's 1 minute cut out. Don't know what it is.
Cool.
It's
Yeah,
never
I don't
been
know because I've only
disclosed.
ever seen the I've only ever seen the
Mhm.
unrated, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Okay. Should we do? We'll do the plot and then we'll do the politics. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
works
Yeah.
to give it context,
Yeah.
but yeah, substance. All right. So, a Serbian film. It's 2010 Serbian exploitation horror. Is that fair? Do you agree?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
I mean, that is one of the core themes of the movie,
yeah,
exploitation.
yeah. And it is a horror. Did you classify it as a horror?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. But it has
I
that
mean, there is
thriller,
so many, yeah. Yeah,
suspenseful
it's
build up at the
absolutely a
start.
thriller. Yeah.
Yeah. But then it
Yes.
goes into, yeah, horror just.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was directed and written by the people I previously mentioned. Now, financially struggling ex-porn star, super porn star,
Mm.
an artist. He's called
Yeah.
an artist. He's
Yeah.
referred to as an
Yeah.
artist.
Because he's basically like the
Milos.
Energizer
Milos.
Bunny. Yeah. Because he can just keep going and going and going and going and going.
Hmm. Prosthetics. What did you reckon? The
Uh
prosthetic work in this movie. I'm
yeah.
not trying to be crass at any point in this
Yeah.
movie. I'll say that before moving forward, Dorian.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah, crazy, yeah. Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
What about the
But
gore work outside, what we're both laughing at?
oh
What about
yeah,
side,
really
and all
good.
that sort of thing. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I liked it.
Um, yeah, so did I. I liked the wounds they had on the face, the
Mm.
coagulated blood that just stayed there
Yeah.
throughout the movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was, yeah.
Mm.
Because there is definitely an aesthetic tone, like what there's a really
Yeah.
nice, well-established color palette
Mm.
that just is, yeah, used
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
well throughout. I know what I'm saying.
Mm.
I know the words that are coming out
Yes.
of my mouth, but it's
Yes.
true. True.
Yeah.
This is like the human centipede.
Yeah.
This isn't, like crocodile in the sewer, some sort of flying vegetable with teeth. No,
Yeah.
they wanted
Yeah.
to make a really good movie, but just,
Mm.
very extreme for different
Yeah. Yeah.
reasons.
I
Yeah.
think that was one of the things that surprised me when I first watched it was
Absolutely.
how well made the movie was, how
Yeah.
good it looked,
I
and like
expected
just the overall plot
garbage
and
in
all that kind of
production
stuff.
value.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
a lot more cohesive of a movie than you would expect it to be given its reputation.
Yes, absolutely. Cannibal Holocaust, I felt similar
Mm.
ways about, yeah, and
Yeah.
certain
Oh,
things. But
yeah.
Cannibal
I need to
Holocaust
rewatch.
is
Yeah.
really
That one's on
fucking
the list,
effective.
so
Yeah, we'll go. Yep.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
you
where we're
can
at.
you can interpret that film as being a found footage movie if you choose to.
It's quoted, stated, whatever is the first
Mm,
one. But technically, there is
mm,
one in the 1960s. I forget the name of it,
yes.
with a black
Yes.
protagonist. You know the one? Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Forget
yeah.
the name of that one. Um, okay. All right, these people. All right, so we've got Milos. What do we think of
Yeah.
Milos
Like
outside
he's
of his
obviously a
job?
very yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a perfect character, but he's so sympathetic. You feel so bad for
You
him by
do.
the end of the movie.
Yeah, you
He's
do.
he's a really sympathetic character, and
Yeah.
like you can tell that he really does care about his wife and his son. And yeah, so everything that happens, you just
Mm.
and he has his own like morals, and there's so much stuff that he's the main character. He's the character that you follow throughout the entire movie. And
Yeah.
everything that he's getting witnessing and being forced to do, I mean, he is horrified by it. He is
Yeah.
disgusted by it. He wants to
Yeah.
get out as, quickly as he possibly can.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't kind of just he's a good character. He isn't
Hmm.
perfect, but
No.
he's incredibly sympathetic.
Yes, and he conveys that well. Conveys that well.
Hmm.
To the
Yeah.
actor, well done with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, well done with that. All things, everything else aside, let's be objective. I'll be
Hmm.
objective in that. Well done with
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah. Um, okay, yeah. So he is asked to participate in an art film.
Hmm.
Yeah. What's his name? Vic Moore. I've got it down. Yeah.
Vukmir.
Yeah, thank you. Vukmir is extremely rich. He wears a lot of black.
Hmm.
He's got a lot of big, strong goons behind him, lots of black limousines, an estate out in the country. You get the type. This
Hmm.
is Serbia, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and he is one of the many things I'm sure he does. He produces porn,
Yeah.
but
For a
let's just say
certain clientele.
a certain clientele. This is hints of hostel going on
Yeah,
here with,
pretty much, yeah.
yeah.
But then he's out there saying, "No, I'm creating art. This is art that I'm making."
Yes, as a philosophical artist,
Nah,
and
dude,
he's,
you're just
yeah,
making money. That's what you're doing. You're making
totally making
porn.
money. You're totally exploiting the ruin or the crumbling ruin of Serbia. Yeah.
Yes.
His whole
Yes.
thing with, uh, victimization as art,
Mm.
because
Yep.
everyone is a victim.
Yep.
Serbia is a victim, but
Yeah, he
you're
goes on a
just
whole monologue
exploiting.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're just exploiting the victims, though.
Mm.
You're
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
perpetuating this
that
cycle. This is just a
yeah.
perpetuation of the cycle,
Yeah.
yeah, of
Yep,
victimization. Yeah,
and that's the
yeah,
point of the movie.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Hmm. And he represents the director. Yeah, would you agree with that? The director
No.
of the film. Why not? Please.
So the director has stated that Vukmir essentially represents the like it's an exaggerated version of like film like the film industry and all that kind of stuff in like Europe, Eastern Europe, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Okay.
Because a
Okay.
lot of films that were coming out of Serbia and Eastern Europe in the aftermath
Hmm.
of the Yugoslav wars was
Hmm.
essentially just, you know, um, very, glossing over things and being all, it's being referred to as victim porn. Uh, you know, as in like,
Okay. I'm
yeah.
with
And
you.
so that was essentially the only kind of media that they were putting out there, stuff that was presenting Serbia in a certain kind of light, in a certain
Hmm.
kind of way, and saying, like, oh, essentially just it, the concept of like
Hmm.
inspiration porn, victim porn, that kind of thing. Where it's like,
Hmm.
oh, look at this poor exploited person and how hard they're struggling, but they're making it through. And isn't this amazing to watch? Doesn't it make you feel better? Completely glossing over the atrocities and the horrors.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and so that was kind of like that's why it's called a Serbian film, in that it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
kind of taking the concept of victim porn literally and then
Yeah.
saying these are the movies you're creating. You're only putting as Serbian films. It is
Hmm.
victim porn.
Hmm.
Here you go.
Hmm.
Like that's
Hmm.
that's the filmmaker's intent.
Yes, yes. Taken to an extreme level, like he goes on
Yeah.
about everything has to be about life and art and blood and the perfect shot.
Mm.
This is cinema.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it. That's the
Yeah.
shot. This is,
Yeah.
yeah, and all that shit,
Yeah. And not like wanting
Um,
to represent Serbia in any way other than this very
mhm.
specific way, and
Okay.
anything outside of that, no, we're not going to allow any of that to come out there. No, we need to present it in a certain kind of way because that's all that
Mhm.
we want to present to the world. That's the only kind of stuff that we want to put out there.
Okay. You read
Completely
the,
ignoring the, you know, actual impact that
yeah,
marginalized
and
people
and
are,
all the other
the way
things
that they're
like,
living and the impact
yeah.
that all of that stuff had on them. Completely ignoring all of that.
And just having in the world's mind, Serbia is just a desolate ruin, and
Mm,
all the music, art, food, etc.
mm,
that makes up culture is also completely forgotten, and it's
yeah.
now seen as not far off what we see in this movie when people do,
Yeah.
like people down here, just basically Western
Mm,
culture, yeah,
yeah.
think
Yeah.
about these places.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
far
And
off
that,
what people
yeah.
imagine, yeah.
Yeah. And that's essentially what the filmmaker's thoughts and feelings were on like all that. And he was
Okay.
just incredibly frustrated by that. And, motivation, inspiration from some other stuff. And yeah.
I get
So
you. I get you. Now, you read the little bit on Wikipedia where it talks about him
yeah.
being daddy's
Yeah.
little rich boy.
Yeah.
And what the Wikipedia guy was saying that he's basically perpetuating the cycle and not helping it. What I
Mm,
think he's getting at now, just listening to you as well, very nicely put, thank you. This is a very cynical outlook. This is
yes.
extremely
Yes.
pessimistic. And when we
Yeah.
see at the end, when we get into,
Mm,
the shit, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, he has no answers and he sees no ways out. So why should I show you? Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, perhaps, but don't know. Never,
mm.
really spoken to the guy, of course. Okay, interesting.
But I mean, like
So I'm
I
just reading.
even
I'm
the
just reading. Keep going.
even after the first time I watched the movie, like it was very obvious to me that it was like talking about like, exploitation of, you know, marginalized people and all that kind of stuff. And, with the knowledge that I don't
Mhm.
know the cultural
No,
context or
yeah,
that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
of
And
Serbia
then
at
yeah,
all. Neither, of
yeah.
course. Yeah.
But like that was like my initial interpretation. And then rewatching it, I'm like, okay, yeah, same thing again. And then I read on like the the filmmaker's intent and motivations behind it and everything. I'm like, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's now like filling in some blanks some more. Yeah, okay. Now it's making a little bit more sense to me, but it's still a lot very much the same kind of in terms of this
Hmm.
exploitation for the sake of And I mean, essentially the concept is certain people will be exploited literally from the moment that they are born until
Yeah,
even
yeah,
their death will be exploited. So,
yeah. I think the best thing I've heard in terms of all this, director's intent and the
mm,
political messaging behind it
mm,
and everything. He said, when you're born into Serbia, you are
mm,
fucked. When you grow up in
I
Serbia,
mean,
you are fucked. And when you
mm,
die in Serbia, you are fucked. Yeah, I think
yeah, that sums up the
a
movie.
Serbian film. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. You
yeah.
want to sum up the types of sexual violence in this film? There you go.
Mhm. Mhm. And points
That's
saying
it
that this
right
is
there.
a just quickly that this is a cynical outlook. Even if he does have lots of money, he still
Mm,
lives within all of this. You know what I
yeah.
mean? His
Yeah.
dad, yes, got money in the 90s. Yes, everyone got money in the 90s the
Mm,
Serbian way,
yeah.
because how else are they
Yeah.
meant to get money as well? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? This is showing they're stuck in a mire going around in a circle. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. And the circle that they're stuck in. Okay, so
yeah.
we've done all the warnings. So is Wikipedia here. That it's basically it's a snuff film. Yeah, totally
Yeah.
a snuff film. Not, it's
Mm.
not an art film. It's a snuff film. It's a well shot snuff film.
I
Don't get me
mean,
wrong,
it's
but
it's
it's a snuff film.
significant it's significantly more artsy than other movies that I've seen that, would have had like similar kind of content in that, they're making a snuff film or they're making porn, but also, surprise, we're also doing a snuff film. Pull the rug
Um,
out from under you on that.
Eight
But like,
millimeter or something. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but
Anyway, okay,
fucking tumbling dollar flesh, dude. That's on the iceberg. Um,
okay, okay.
but yeah, like, and those ones, they are just about, it's a very like objective viewpoint of what it is that they're doing, as opposed to this one, because
Hmm.
you have the
Hmm.
character Milos and you're following him and his reactions to everything that's happening, it isn't quite as objective in terms of like they're just making this movie and that's all that is that you're seeing. You're actually seeing like someone who is forced into it and their emotional response to everything that they are being expected to do. So it's
Hmm.
like tonally very, very different from other films that I've
Yeah,
seen that like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's just yeah, it's actual filmmaking rather than someone with
Yeah.
a handycam forcing you into a point of view perspective for an hour and a
Yeah.
half of,
Yeah.
of someone's prosthetic work and an actor squirming and screaming.
Yeah.
And that's the surprising thing about this film.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, but it could never be anything else because of the content, not the
Yeah.
context, but the
Yeah.
content. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it have to go there?
It did, yeah. A lot of the stuff in that it didn't have to do in order to get the message across.
Mhm.
But you can say that about a lot of movies, so
As I mean, that is
I don't
exploitation.
know.
That is the
Yeah.
point of exploitation.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To take one or two, certain popular things in film and
Mm.
just blow them up to an extreme to make a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether the point's stupid or pertinent. It's a pertinent point. It is a
Mm.
pertinent point because we all know about sex trafficking, yeah,
Yeah.
nowadays, and how it's just a rampant reality. Rampant
Mm.
reality, yeah. And and porn and sex trafficking. Sorry,
Mm.
and da, da, da. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, porn's huge. Of course, I'm not speaking for all of porn, but there is
Mm.
a relationship on a certain
Yeah.
level. Absolutely. Um, and okay, so what this is what this yeah. I think have we spoken enough about it? Can we just do the
Yeah.
plot?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's not easy. It's
We
not
could be
easy.
here all day.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Milos is a semi-retired porn star. He lives in Belgrade with his wife, Maria. Is it Maria or
Maria.
Marja? It was Maria, yeah?
Maria.
Yeah,
Mm.
thank you. And their 6-year-old son, Peter. His brother, Marco. Ugh.
I hate him. I hate him so much. And
so
also,
much.
the shitty little earring that he has in his ear annoys me so much every single time I see it because the placement of it is so
It's
fucking
fucked up.
stupid.
It
Because it
is,
is
yeah.
so, it's in his lobe, but it is so close to the side of his head.
Hmm.
And that, so that he has like that much space of lobe just there right next to it. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's
oh my God.
yeah, it's
It
not
just
good.
annoys me so much every single time I see it. I just want to rip it out.
Here's a corrupt,
Yeah.
creepy police officer.
Mm.
And I did write down a note, one of my first notes, I think, even the police are creepy in
Yeah.
Serbia. Uh, He envies, that's one way to put it, Milo's
Mm.
wife, Milos's, sorry, wife, and is sexually attracted to her. Maria is curious about her husband's feelings towards his past. That's the job, yes.
Mm.
Because the son, of course, let's mention that. This is the first scene of
That's
this
how the
movie,
movie
Dorian.
opens.
Yeah, yeah. Peter is watching a movie
Yeah.
that he shouldn't. He's watching one of Daddy's
Yeah.
old work movies.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Milos left it just lying about.
out on the table. And
But
he's like,
also,
fuck.
like, that is the most like artsy looking porn film I've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, in a
I'm
very
like, what is
Euro
happening?
trash fashion.
Literally all, yeah. Like you see like her ass and her tits, and you see his ass as well, but that's it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
what
that
kind
is
of
it. That
porn
is
film
it.
is this?
Yeah. No, they make it look quite kind of goofy at the start. Yeah.
Yeah,
Milos in his profession. Yes, that is belief.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. The brother really wants to bang the wife, and it's quite disgusting
yeah,
how he shows it. Yeah, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
He go
Now,
like, yeah, at one point Milos is elsewhere, and then he's there just having a chat with the wife in the
mhm,
kitchen,
mhm.
excuses himself to the bathroom and just jerks off.
Yeah, that was just horrible. Yeah. Who looks in the mirror like that
Yeah.
as well? You know, it's just it was uncomfortable, Dorian.
Oh
I
my
found that
God.
was one of the most uncomfortable scenes in the whole goddamn movie. I really
Oh
didn't
my
like the
God. No,
brother.
I was just laughing at him because I'm like, you're fucking pathetic, bro.
I was so sad. It was so
Yeah.
fucking sad. So get a grip. Um, but yeah, so Maria's asking the husband.
Mm,
If because I think Peter leaves the room and yeah, they start watching. It's very
mm,
European. But this is just
mm.
standard kind of European kind of stuff, the way it's presented,
Yeah.
this sort of thing. But what I found interesting in this first act, it keeps hinting at extremity.
Mm, yeah.
It keeps hinting at almost going there till a
Yeah.
good
Like
hour into this
the kind
movie.
of
Yeah,
porn that he used to do, it was more, hinting at it being more physically aggressive, if
yeah, yeah,
nothing else.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there is that moment where that's shown with the wife
Mm,
in bed.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But this point of all of this, though, this first half is to also build up the myth of Milos as I think the
Mm,
term is performer in the industry. Yeah,
yeah.
as
Yeah.
the greatest performer in
Mm,
pornography. Yeah.
yeah.
But he's not doing it anymore, but his family's in financial trouble.
Mm,
And his wife's asking if he misses it, and he says, but basically, he misses the money. Um, and so then enter Leila, a former co-star, offers Milos a starring role in an art film directed by Vukmir, an independent pornographer, who wishes to cast Milos for his his prowess. I'm not saying that.
yeah.
Having already caught Peter watching one of his films and not informed of the details of Vukmir's film at all. That's a big thing for a
Mm,
while. Yeah, this is kept very
yeah.
secretive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, Milos is there like, okay, you're offering a lot of money, but you're not telling me anything about
Mhm.
what this film would entail. Like, I don't want to sign anything to agree to, come onto this project until I know what I'm going to be doing. And Vukmir is like being like, oh no, it's better if you don't know. We want like, real reactions from you, blah, 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 blah. And at a
Absolutely.
later point, when Milos does end up finding out some stuff, he's like, yeah, if you'd fucking told me that this is what it would entail, I would have said no
Yeah. Been
immediately,
out.
dude. Like, what the
Out.
fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, but they keep honeypotting him with,
Hmm.
I imagine it was around
Because
$200
it's
million
mm,
that they're
yeah,
offering,
because they're
something
saying
to
like,
that
hey, like,
level,
yeah,
yeah?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because they were saying like the amount of money that you have stashed away, like it's not as though you're earning any more money from that. That's running down. You're running low on money from that. If you do this job, if you do this film,
Hmm.
the lot of you will be set for life. You'll be able to
Yeah.
send your
Your
child to
son's life
school
as well, yeah.
and not have to worry about anything. That's how much money we're willing to offer you for
Yeah,
this
millions,
project.
millions, millions. Um, and Serbia's poor, if you didn't know.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
Serbia has issues along those lines, absolutely. Now, having already caught Peter watching one of his films and not informed of the details of Vukmir's film, Milo is hesitant to participate and continue his career. And all the time his son's having a sexual awakening. Sorry, it's in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Because he watched that film,
Hmm.
the porn at the beginning of that. And okay, yeah, it's gonna happen sometime. But he's like 6.
Yeah, that's the thing. And it's all
Like, I think that
too
that's at
a
least a couple
little,
years too young for that.
yeah.
That level of,
Europe's
you
not that
know,
crazy.
for it to
Europe's
be
not that
like what it
crazy.
is that he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're made to feel very icky from the get-go.
Mm.
From the, yeah. Because Peter is also like, he looks like goddamn Shirley Temple. There were these little tight blonde
Yeah.
girls and
Yeah.
such, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very innocent looking.
Mm.
Okay. So he's hesitant, but he needs to secure his family's financial future. So he meets with Vukmir and he passes a bald man in his entourage, regarding them warily. His entourage are interesting. Yeah, they're all sorts
Mm.
of, yeah, fucked up creeps,
Yeah.
definitely. The filming begins at an orphanage where Vukmir feeds Milos instructions through an earpiece given to him in the van by his one-eyed driver, Rasa. That's a spoiler, you silly bugger. While the film crew follows him, Milos sees a young girl named Zheka, who's being scolded by her mother for disgracing her deceased war hero's husband memory by becoming a prostitute. Okay, did you get all that?
Mm.
This whole scene, okay, let's explain this scene a little more
Mm.
because it's actually presented quite effectively. When he gets out of the
Mm. Yeah.
van, there's a guy in black militant SWAT gear with a camera,
Mm.
yeah, handheld camera, just
Yeah.
looking directly at him. And it's a nice front on wide shot. So there's local symmetry, nice symmetrical
Mm.
shots, all the things are in this film. And the way that, and then there's another guy that's inside, or he meets him at some point, and then they just work together,
Mm.
like a type
Yeah.
choreography between them to film him walking into this place. You know what I mean? So there is this
Yeah.
kind of detail to it. You can tell. The point being, this is guy who wants to make like X, for example,
Mm.
an artistic horror film,
Yeah.
horror,
Mm.
artistic porn film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Even if he is fucking deranged, but we'll get there. All right, so yeah, that's happening. That's happening. He walks in, he sees this young girl who's on the stairs, and I mean, what is she? Yeah, she's underage. She's
Yeah.
underage. Yeah, she's not a child, but she's underage. And
Yeah.
then the mother comes along and she's screaming and ranting all this stuff about, the husband's memory, prostitute, war hero, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, in a dark room, screens show. Okay. The way this jumps around. We cut back
Yeah.
to yeah, Milos. Now he's been put into the studio. Let's call it the studio. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
And so, yeah, how is it? You've got basically, it's got like crushed negative space. black used as negative
Mm,
space, and then you see the cameras around, and then you've got the center space lit enough to see Milos on a
yeah,
perimeter. Yeah, that describes it. And
yeah.
and then we get the woman that was seen before, and she's been beaten. I'm at the right point in the plot, yeah.
Mm,
By
yeah.
one of I'm going to call them the goons. They're Vukmir's
Yeah,
assistants, yeah, the goons.
yeah.
And she's been beaten, not to incapacitate, but it's not in a kinky way.
Yeah,
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 it hurts. She's been assaulted. There we go. She's being
yeah.
assaulted. Okay. And then she crawls over. She's wearing a tight. I'm just thinking details. Do I need to go? No. She crawls over and gives Milos fellatio. So this is
Mm,
where the screens pop up, and we see
yeah.
the young girl. That's Jekka, who is sitting on the steps, underage. Is the point, eating an ice pop while
Mm,
Milos is being given fellatio
yeah.
by a nurse mother. That's not correct. Yeah, so there's that scene. Yeah, that's the first kind of,
Mm,
okay,
yeah,
I'm really
yeah,
more uncomfortable now scene. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is
And
where, yes,
yeah,
go.
he's kind of not really responding much, I guess, just
Mm,
because he's like, what the fuck is going on? And then she basically bites his dick. And then you got one of the goons behind him kind of telling him, like, hit her, smack her around kind of thing.
hmm
So, he
hmm
eventually does that, and
hmm
just all the while, there are all these screens around him, like that if he's just looking dead ahead, he's seeing this
hmm
footage of this young, let's say she's 12 to 14 years old.
It's about that. It's
That's
about
probably the
that.
age
Yeah.
range that she is, yeah. And she's there, eating a popsicle, an ice block kind of thing, which obviously has a bit of a similar imagery to it, to, getting your dick sucked,
The
you know. And
Dorian,
so seeing
after you,
that,
sorry.
and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The visual and dialogue interplay between
Mm,
kids and porn in this movie is really
yeah.
gross and
Yeah.
uncomfortable. And there's a
Mm,
fair bit of it. The red balloon.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just shit like that. I
Mm,
remember she gets a gift of a panda bear on the table. And then
yeah.
later on in the film, when he's going back to get his revenge, it says a little keychain thing like hanging off the rear view mirror. There's
Yeah.
always those
Yeah.
little kind of, can you stop with that?
Mm, yeah.
But again, that's the point. That's the point.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
okay. So yeah, and yeah, he hits the poor woman, and he breaks out of there, goes, I can't work under these conditions, to say the fucking
Yeah,
least.
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes back to Vukmir, and Vukmir informs him that he is a former psychologist who has worked in children's television and state security. That's a combo. Yeah.
And give it worked in children's television, and given some of the stuff that he
Mm,
does involving kids,
mm, and
fucking
state
hell.
security. So, he knows how to
Mm,
find you, and he knows how to hide. Yeah.
yep.
And I think the person who finds that is his brother, because he calls up his
It's
fucking
his
brother,
brother,
and he goes,
yeah.
and his brother convinces him, I mean, like it's the government. Of course you can trust them.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
so Milos is like he's a bit of a fool character, the classic
Yeah.
fool character in this
Yeah.
as well, yeah, because he shouldn't. I mean, like, I don't know. I guess it's being Kiwi slash Australian, whatever. If trust the government. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Automatically, yeah, automatically.
Mm, yeah.
Right. Okay, but I don't live in Serbia, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vukmir meets a hesitant Milos afterward to explain his artistic style, showing a film of a woman giving birth.
Yep.
Yeah,
Now
because
this
he's trying to,
is
because
the
Milos
scene that,
wants to,
yeah.
sorry, one sec, Milos wants to leave, and then so he's doing his big speech, and he's going to show him
Yeah.
how great his art is. Take it away, Dorian.
Yeah. So this is the scene that everyone talks about when they're talking about this film, the
Mhm.
newborn porn thing.
Number one.
Um, so it is something that is shown by Vukmir to Milos on a screen. So it isn't something that is actually happening in the moment.
Everything is fake in this
Um,
movie.
yes,
Everything is
yes,
fake. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, just yeah.
So yeah, so what it is there's a woman lying on a table, she's giving birth, and you have Rasa is there, and so she gives birth, and the moment the baby comes out, you know, gives it a smack, so it starts crying, and yeah, like the act itself is shown from behind him. So you're seeing his back. You see a little bit of this freshly emerged baby. But otherwise, that's it. He unzips his pants, and it's more that you just hear the crying of the baby
Hmm.
rather than you actually seeing anything. But that's the
The
scene.
sound
Um,
design is cruel at
mm,
times in this
yeah,
movie. Yeah, especially these
yeah.
things, and you hear fucking everything. It's
Mm.
cruel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
correct.
And Vukmir coins it as it's this new genre. It's newborn porn.
You
This is gonna be
born
this whole
porn.
new thing.
You
And
born porn.
yeah. Milos is understandably absolutely fucking horrified, disgusted, wants
Of
absolutely nothing to do with this.
course.
What the
'Cause
fuck is wrong with
everyone
you?
who else
I'm
is an Ed
out.
Gein, etc., would be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So this movie, if you think of it, it goes there. Yeah,
Mm.
point in
Yeah.
case that people fuck babies. Yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, basically that's the test. It comes about halfway through the movie. It's also a little test as
Mm.
well to see, oh, you've made it this far, so are you
Yeah.
going to make it to the end?
Yeah.
We're going to split the pack here.
Yeah.
Definitely going to split the
Also,
pack.
like during this scene, Vukmir has just been plying Milos with alcohol. Like he's been giving him drinks,
Yeah. What
which
did you think
is
of the
I'm mentioning
whiskey
for
and
a
the
reason.
rye? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll okay, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. But yeah, I liked that. I liked that in the movie. Yeah.
Mm,
And because Milos, all this time, he's kind of descending into alcoholism. This is
mm.
driving him
Yeah.
crazy, of course.
Yeah.
So he's
He's
descending
drinking a
into
lot.
alcoholism.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's a really cool meeting. That was a good meeting, and he drives
Mm,
away. At a road junction, he is approached and seduced by Vukamir's female doctor. This is where things start getting experimental.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
thriller framework is done. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, because point being, did we get up to there anytime soon on here? Okay. Seduce, crazy seduction. No need for
Mm.
details, but it's full
Yeah.
on. Yeah, when he
Yeah.
stopped at the lights. Yeah, she walks up. A bloodied Milos wakes up in his bed 3 days later with no memory of what has happened. He returns to the now abandoned set and finds several tapes. Yeah, the tapes were interesting. Yeah. This is
Yeah.
where it got into kind of weird, intense found
Yeah.
footage kind of territory. Yeah.
Mm,
Okay. Again, different mediums are being used, different film
mm.
mediums are being used to show this as well.
Yeah.
And the crazy edits were like, yeah, they were sharp and intense. They were cool. All right, viewing them, Milos discovers that he was drugged to induce an aggressive, sexually aroused, and suggestive state. That he was drugged with. What was he drugged with, Dorian?
I can't remember.
It's flippin' bull Viagra.
Oh, yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
It's
So
flippin' bull
basically all
Viagra.
all of the stuff that Milos does is like he's in a state that he is not capable of any higher cognitive function. He is not able to make any choices. He is in a very suggestible state. And so
It's
as in they
inarguable.
just
It's irrefutable.
yeah,
Yeah, he
they
is
just
basically
put him
pure.
in a situation and they're like, go for it, buddy, and he'll just do it.
Mhm.
If he was actually like aware of what he's doing, and that happens later on during those segments as like it's starting to wear off for him, he's able to sort of be a little bit more aware of what he's doing. But like in the the first moments of it, he is not, there's no higher mental faculties happening.
No,
He's just purely
no.
doing what it is that they are telling him to do.
Yeah, yeah. But, I mean, you've got the big dude, 200 pounds.
Mm,
It's a bull, cattle.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah,
enough said. Yeah, yeah. But absolutely, absolutely. There is no choice in there. And that is conveyed as such.
yeah.
Mein Gott, is it? Okay. Um, okay. Just give me a sec. All right. Okay. So he's in a highly suggestible state. Now, we're back in the studio. Vukmir's
Yes.
manipulative direction. Yes, this is where he gets the earpiece in.
Mm,
And we've got the scene in the bedroom with Jacka's mother, the blonde woman again.
yeah.
Yeah. This is her final scene.
Mm, yeah.
Yes. Circling around,
This is
bringing her
when
up.
you realize
Yes.
they're making a snuff movie.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There you go. There you go. And yeah, and the
Machete.
directions get more and more intense until it builds,
Mm,
and he's
yeah.
just going nuts, of
Yeah, because
course.
because
She's tied up on the
he's got
bed.
the earpiece.
Yeah, and that's
He's
where he's
got
getting
that
the
earpiece
directions.
in.
Yeah.
And Vukmir is essentially the director.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, he's giving his actors his talent directions, their motivation kind of thing, So he's saying all of this awful stuff, just to
Mhm.
goad Milos on, saying like, oh, this is what, the kind of person that she is, blah, 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 blah.
Like any
Like, isn't she
Scorsese,
terrible?
Lynch,
Doesn't
Craven.
she deserve this, that, and the other, and all that kind of stuff, just to goad him on, just to make him
Yeah,
just
let's get
stop.
that performance. That
He's,
inspired
doing it
work.
from behind. He is closed fist, just punching her in the back.
Yeah, he starts slapping her first, but then
Mm,
starts
yeah,
kidney punching
yeah,
Dorian. Yeah, at the
yeah.
start, and that's one of the most
And then
painful
they
things you
put
can do to a human body. Yeah.
a machete in his hand.
Mhm. And yeah,
And then
strike her, the final act and blah blah blah. And yeah.
mm,
And off it comes. But he
on
keeps
the
going.
neck.
Keeps going though. He hasn't finished.
Mm,
He has to be
yeah.
pulled. Yeah.
She,
Yeah.
yeah. As in,
So
yeah,
this
she's
is the
dead.
type of
She's
frenzy
full
that
on
he's in. And
decapitated,
he's still going.
and
That's the level of
they have to
frenzy.
pull
Yeah.
him out of
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fucked. It is fucked. But highly effective when I first saw it. It was like,
Mm,
holy fucking
yeah.
living shit.
Mm,
I don't know. Had I seen anything like this before then?
yeah.
Maybe not. So yeah, there you go. That was that night as
Mm,
well. Maybe it was the introduction
yeah.
to this sort of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, because it really took off. I mean, like, yeah, I know there was the 2000s and the French extremities and that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't until 2010s that I started watching the more extreme stuff. This could have been
Mm,
the first one. Okay. Yeah, so that scene, so that happened. Okay, where are we up to? The tapes were fucked. There were other tapes actually.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
there was the
He
donkey.
comes across another tape,
There was
and
a
it's of
donkey.
him.
Carry
Yeah.
on.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The donkey.
You don't see
It's
anything.
okay. You don't see it, but you know what is going to happen.
Had to throw the donkey in there. But what did you think of, being serious, what did you think of with that weird scene with Mother and Xhaka, sepia tone, David Lynch style? Uh,
Uh,
yeah, that was on one of the tapes. That was the first time
yeah.
in the film that time started to warp.
Yeah. I don't know. Like that was when it started to get
Yeah, it
really
starts.
artsy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah. But yeah,
But I let,
one of the
yeah,
tapes is, yeah, Milos is just unconscious and he's chained up, and yeah, one of the goons,
ah, Rassa, dirty Randy Rassa,
yeah, he fucks Milos.
and make sure he knows about
So
it.
yeah, so no one is safe. Everyone is raped. Let's just put that out there.
You know, the old YouTube thing. They're raping everybody out there. They're raping everybody. Yeah, that's this movie. Okay,
Yeah.
so where are we in this fucking shit show? Okay, so yeah, her head's off. He's being raped on the tape by Rasa.
Mm.
Yep, that's exactly what we're up to there. He then watches footage of Layla voicing concern for Milos only to be restrained as her teeth are removed. That's right.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. You don't see the teeth being removed.
no, you don't.
You see
No,
her,
you don't see that.
she's chained up, and then the footage shows a puddle of blood on the ground, and then you see that there's a bunch of teeth in there, and then goes over to her, and you see the reveal that, ah, yes, that's what happened. All of her teeth were forcibly removed. And then someone shoves his cock down her throat and then holds onto her nose so she
Yeah.
can't breathe at all.
Mm.
And then,
Real casual style, like they've done it
yeah,
a fair few times
pres
before. Not new to this.
presumably suffocates her.
Yes. Now, question, Dorian. It may spoil the end, but
Mm,
fuck it. The guy with the white ski mask, we
mm,
see him later on.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it this way. Do we think that that's possibly the same person that we see later on,
Yeah.
a la the
Yeah,
ski mask?
it could be.
I
But
had that thought.
again, like, yeah, because that schema, like a ski mask can go, anyone can wear that. So who
Sure.
knows?
That's specifically the only
But
white one in the whole
yeah,
thing.
yeah, exactly. So that would make you, and he did have an interaction with Layla at the beginning.
Yeah.
So it could easily be the same
To be
person.
set up, to be given that,
Yeah,
and da da da. Yeah.
yeah,
Piece of shit.
mm,
Utter piece of
yeah,
shit. Yep. Worst person in the whole thing. Because Vukmir is out of his goddamn mind.
yeah.
Yeah, he was just
Because
sad
he
and
just wants
horny.
to create art.
He was just
No,
sad.
like,
The
no.
brother was just sad and horny, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both
He's an
pathetic.
incel. He's an incel. He's literally an incel.
Well, I'll think about
He's
that.
there.
Think about that. The
Oh,
worst person will decide
no,
that at the end.
there's a scene with the brother where he's like, I assume it's a sex worker because she mentions like, hey, you're running down the
Oh,
clock
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
like you are
yeah. Your
not getting
animal
hard. Like,
has gone to
yeah.
sleep again.
Um, but like he's there watching a video of Peter's birthday party, his nephew's birthday party,
Oh, and some of the timing
while
again
he's
with the
getting his dick
audio,
sucked.
what's going on the screen, some of the timing with the audio was like, dude, don't do that. You don't
Oh
need
my
to do
God. And
that.
then
Yeah.
and then he switches over to one of Milos's films, his own brother's porn films, and
Yeah.
he's just there going, "Oh,
So,
what's his secret?
yeah, I
How
know. And
come
then and
like
then the
he's
sex worker
yeah, she's like,
sits
I
up and
don't if
goes,
you don't know, I don't fucking know." Jeez.
and also it's like, well, nothing's happening with you. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
watch
yeah. So
this. This
she
is
just
way more
chilling.
entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's so sad. So pathetic. And it's a dark, dingy room. He lives in a
Mm.
shithole, of
Yeah, yeah,
course.
yeah.
An utter shithole by himself, of course. Okay. Now, yeah. So yeah, she okay, it was with the yeah, she's yeah, death by penis, down the throat, suffocation. Footage continues as Marlos is led to Yeka's home, where her grandmother praises him for killing her mother and offers Yeka as a virgin commune to make her a woman like
Mm.
my father did to me
Did for
when
me,
I was
yeah. I
young.
mean,
Did for me when I was young. Yeah.
yeah, that's essentially just that kind of stuff is just normalized amongst certain people, because it's, just seeing where they
Yeah.
live and all that kind of thing. Like they're obviously
You're not
like poor,
wrong.
they're marginalized, that kind of
You're not
thing.
wrong.
And so that kind of stuff would be normalized. And you have that generational abuse as well. So, yeah.
Um, any Serbians watching this? Because I'm not going to try and pronounce your name, sir, but he'll be watching this
Mm.
because he's been commenting on the post. He's a fan of
Mm.
this, and he is
Oh,
Serbian as well.
oh,
So
okay.
shout out
Yeah,
to you. I laugh out of shock from my
yeah,
from my life's experience eyes. Yeah,
mm.
nothing I
Yeah,
say for anything that I'm getting wrong through my perception interpretation of this. I mean, no offense. Yeah,
mm. Yeah,
I just want to say that. Yeah,
yeah,
because I have no idea what it's like there for you. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, it could be great. It could be having a great time. We could have this
yeah,
completely wrong. That also happens with the
yeah.
media
I hope
often.
for everyone's
And
sake that they are having a
I
good
don't know.
time.
Hopefully, the truth lies somewhere in between at the least. Somewhere in between at the least. Yeah.
Yeah.
People make a good time wherever they are, though. Humans are good like that. Humans are good like that.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Russia has amazing art. Yeah. Russian subculture art, underground stuff. It's
Mm.
incredible. It's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Okay. But back to Serbia. Back to Serbia. Okay. We're now the Virgin Commune. Yes, okay. So Milos refuses, of course, and escapes through a window.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's right. Yeah,
he first like
go,
he
go,
kind of
go.
he's still in that drugged up haze, just like, and then he manages to kind of like come to just enough to realize what is going on, and he sees the little, you got
Uh-huh,
Vukmir
uh-huh.
there as the director and the little film crew and all that. And he's like, and he just kind of like jumps up and grabs a knife and threatens to cut off his own dick. He's like, "Nah, I'll
It's,
do it. Like, fuck
it's,
you. I want nothing to do with this. I'm gonna cut off my own dick."
yeah. And then he
Doesn't.
jumps out the window like it's
He
Friday the
jumps
fucking
out the
13th
window.
star, just runs and jumps.
Yeah.
And Vilkamera is just, he just ran away with the film. He ran away with the entire. There was about 3 or 4 moments I laughed out loud that
Mm,
were just really
yeah.
funny in this film. I don't know if intention, I don't know. That's interpretation. But that part I definitely laughed at. Okay. Yeah, escapes through a window, escapes, yep. To refuge in
Mm,
an alleyway, curled up watching a supposed underage streetwalker strutting by who is heckled by two young thugs for her age, and Milos
mm.
begins masturbating in plain view. Okay, the bull Viagra is still working,
Oh, yeah.
at this
Yeah.
stage. I
Yeah. Yeah.
think. Yeah. Um, Also, just before this, though, we have a memento moment, yeah,
Mm,
where let's say clean Milos, yeah, showered
yeah.
Milos
Yeah.
drives
Mm,
by and sees himself in the alleyway.
yeah.
That does happen at that moment. Okay,
Mm,
where are we going to go with this? Where are we going? This is
yeah.
interesting. Um, okay, but the two thugs attack him and but get killed by Rasa. He recoups Milos back to the warehouse, the studio with Vikmir. At the warehouse, Vukomir's doctor administers more drugs, after which Milos overpowers her, sticking the syringe into her throat. Yeah, that part. He is then taken into a room to have. Okay, we're up to the big finale.
Here it is. Yeah.
All right, I'll just read it out and then go.
Mm,
Yeah. He is
yeah.
then taken into a room to have intercourse with two hidden bodies. Okay. Under a sheet. Milos is guided onto one body, and one masked man from Leia's movie enters and begins sexually assaulting, fucking the shit out of here, just to
Mm,
basically set the scene out here. And
yeah.
also, it's a guy, big brute, big goon, wearing the white ski mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Milos does not notice that his victim is okay. He goes from the adult, yeah, let's say the
Yeah.
bigger
Yeah,
person,
it's
to
very
the
obvious
smaller
that
person.
it's very obvious that there's an adult and someone who is small enough that you would assume
Yeah.
would be a child.
Yes.
Because you can see, you have the
Yeah.
overall shape of them being covered, like they're wearing red hoods, and then they have like the sheet that they're covered in, but like their legs, especially for the smaller person, is poking out from underneath the sheet. So you
Yeah.
can get a good grasp as to like the general size difference.
And again, the sound design is cruel.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because with the second person to
Mm.
begin, that
Yeah.
is,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so Vukmir is getting very excited at this point. He's doing all the director
Oh
things,
yeah.
the very cliched
Yes.
director's things with his hands. Yes, yes. You know, they're
Yes.
achieving true art, life, art, blood. You
Mm.
get his very
Yep.
simple, basic metaphors going on here.
He's
But the
creating
ex
his victim porn.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. So he has his grand reveal. This is his coup de
Mm.
grace, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so Bookman then reveals one red hood. These are red hoods that needed to be pointed out. I don't know if we said before, blood red
Mm.
hoods. It's
Yeah.
very there's a circle of cameras. They're laid down on basically altar tables. This is ceremonial as fuck, yeah. So it has, it's given hints of that definitely. And he pulls off one of the hoods, and it is Maria, yeah. Um, just let me make sure I've got it here. While Melos is revealed to, and then victim is revealed to Maria, and then next comes Peter, his son. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you get it. All right, and yeah, and then also the brother is revealed after that.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
I mean, you didn't have to
yeah.
twist his arm to get involved.
No,
God
no,
damn.
no, you did not have to twist his arm. He was
He
welling.
probably would have done it for free.
Yeah, he was welling. No, I do reckon it was him. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I really do. I really do. Okay. Okay, Bookmayer's doctor then staggers into the warehouse. This is the female shot in the
Yeah.
neck with bull Viagra.
Yeah.
This is one of the most,
Yeah.
of course. Anyway, my loss is revealed. Sorry, she is holding a bloody metal pipe in her hand, implying that she has done massive damage, vaginal hemorrhaging.
Mm. Yep.
Well, with everyone's attention diverted, and arranged Milos lunges at Vukman and smashes his head against the floor.
Yes.
And
Once Milo
please, please,
snaps and he just starts attacking everyone, it's so satisfying. So
absolutely,
good.
absolutely, because it's well deserved first. Yeah, I mean, please just
Yes.
kill all of them
Yes.
violently. Yeah. Okay, initiating a brawl during which Maria, this was great,
Mm.
bites Marco
Yes, I
in the
love that.
jugular before Bludge. She picks up a big bust and just crushes his fucking skull with it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, very satisfying. Very satisfying. Needed to happen. Okay, Milos wrestles a gun from the guard and shoots all but Rasa, whom he kills by shoving his erect penis into his empty eye socket.
Yes. Yes. That was so good. I'm so glad that that happened.
Yeah,
Because
no, no,
like the
I
reveal is
yeah.
that because up until that point in the movie, he
Hmm.
Russo was always wearing sunglasses. And so at that point, his
Yeah,
sunglasses are taken
that's
off.
why I said
And you
spoiler
see that
before. Yeah,
he has that
yeah.
empty eye socket. And I mean, I guess Milos is still raring to go, and he just shoves his cock in there and just
Mhm. And it's just about
hell yeah.
how many people have they killed by cock?
Yeah,
Yeah, to
exactly.
innocent people
Yeah.
before. So no, I was,
Yeah.
well done for that. It was in context, in theme
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Somehow
Yeah.
you
I
made
mean,
that
look,
justifiable.
the eye socket fucking scene in the sadness,
Yeah,
I'm like, hell yes, let's
no,
do
that's
this.
great.
Like,
Actually, I need to consider
you
that because
know,
I was 100% on board for every scene of that movie. That's one of my
yeah.
favorites. That's a work of art, that
Yeah,
film.
the
So
sadness
when
was
I'm
really good. I liked
and
it.
that's a look at Taiwanese culture as well, in a
Mm,
kind of
yeah.
reminiscent way to this as well. Yeah. So I have
Mm,
to consider that as well.
yeah.
Okay, I'll put this out there. The one big thing that makes me, yeah, with this,
Mm,
um, none of it's comfortable. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
None of it towards anyone in this film is comfortable.
Mm,
But the big thing is the kids.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I get
Yeah.
they're not on set, they're not seeing. I don't know. I'm
Mm,
hoping that everything was basically out of eye shot, like under the
yeah.
blanket, under the red hood. That's a
Mm,
doll.
Yeah.
that sort of thing,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
all of those
That would have
steps
been
were
really, really
taken.
easy to
Yeah,
do like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I just hope all check marks, because
Mm.
yeah, because even the kid at that age being in a movie like that, that's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm not going to say that it can't happen, but it's a fuck of a lot.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
and so I know all of the facts, but when you watch it, it's just like,
Yeah.
and just the sinister way that it's put up there, like with the screen
Mm.
and the lollipop and the timing
Yeah.
again of that
Mm.
is it's just yeah. So that's the one thing, but we'll get to the rating at the end because we're
Yeah.
almost there. We're almost there. Okay, well done if you're still with us. The true sickos of the children. Okay. Yeah, so death, 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 death. Yeah, and then Rasa, death. And Diane Bookmere praises Milo's action as a truly worthy of a film. True cinema.
God.
Just fuck off.
Yeah.
Just fuck off and die. Definitely. Milos having recalled his actions, including looking his family in their basement. Sorry, start that again. Blah. Milos having recalled his actions. That's right, because there's all the
Mm.
flashbacks that's gone in
Yeah.
parallel with the showered Milos, but that's Milos
Yeah.
basically going back to look at what has happened
Yeah.
after partly recovered as he has locked his family in the room for safety. I've got that right. Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
that happens.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, cool. Um, they're trying to recover.
Mm.
Well, what did you think of the recovery in the aftermath? I
Oh,
thought it was quite
yeah.
very well
I really
portrayed
liked
by
it.
everyone
Yeah.
involved. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Because you
acting
got
was
like
good,
Peter's obvi
good,
yeah.
good.
Yeah. Peter's obviously just essentially just comatose. Like he
Oh
is,
yeah, it's
a
so
1,000 yard stare kind of thing. And Maria, to begin with, doesn't want Milos to touch them. She's flinching away from him kind of thing, understandably. And then, obviously, like eventually, managing to kind of the three of them are kind of just there, just together, like, oh my God, what the fuck just happened to us? And just
yeah.
not a word is spoken in this
No,
scene
and
between
the
the three of
wounds are
them. They
still there.
don't
I
say
mentioned that
anything.
earlier. Yeah, the wounds are
Mm,
still on their face while
yeah,
they're trying to
yeah,
communicate this
yeah.
agony, this utter agony that's going on
Mm,
inside of them through their
yeah,
eyes. Maria was
yeah. But then,
particularly good at it,
mm,
particularly good at it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Because you can really tell like what's going on through their mind and them communicating with each other without
Mm.
saying anything. Like you can tell exactly what it is that they've decided to do, even though they do not say a single word.
Yes. She gives that smile. Yeah, I
Mm,
think she puts her hand on the leg. There's some sort of,
yeah.
comforting little gesture between them.
Mm,
And Shell, yeah, we'll go there. And then they get into bed
yeah.
and they've got a nice little love heart shape with Peter in the
Yeah.
center. Yeah. And yeah, it's a gun because we've seen the gun building up to this
Yeah.
just gently foreshadowed, just very matter of factly.
Mm,
And then you cut to outside of the family home and you hear and see, the black and the white, yeah, of the
mm,
gunshot. You know what I mean?
yeah.
From outside, and you know what's happened. Yes, they decided that was the best way to go. And I kind of agree with them, as crazy as
Yeah.
that is to say, because how the
Mm,
fuck do you get over that?
yeah, exactly. How do you come back from that?
I know it's a lot to say, but yeah,
Mm,
I wish no one to ever be in that situation.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's bleak. It's bleak as all living
Yeah.
fuck because there's an
And
epilogue.
believe it or not, it gets worse.
The epilogue. Start with the little one. The
Mm,
goons are there, and
yep.
one of the hostile guys
Yep.
with the black
He
trench
got
coat, the
some,
money
yeah.
people.
They're filming.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. Cycle continues.
Mm,
And
yeah.
I do agree with you. I do think that's the director's point.
Mm,
Because why the fuck else would you put that there? There are
yeah.
little, oh, I'm a little edgelord exploitation,
Mm, yeah, yeah,
elements to this
absolutely.
movie that cannot be
Yeah.
ignored. But I think it is important there, right there, Dorian, to emphasize the context of this film because
Mm,
it is overlooked
yeah.
and then just treated as another bit of, trash shock cinema. shocking,
Yeah.
but said it's not trash.
Mm.
It's not trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
Okay,
mean,
go.
like, there are plenty of horror movies that are like, have various kinds of physical or sexual violence in them that don't have any intended message or meaning or themes or cultural context behind them
Yeah, but
that
this
people don't
is
say this kind of stuff about. And so obviously, you obviously
okay.
have
I hear you.
certain
I hear you.
aspects in this film that, but those aspects removed from that, everything else, it's like, well, yeah, that's in a lot of other movies. The stuff with the kids and the baby,
Okay.
that's
Mm.
that's what pushes it over the line
And
for
also,
majority of people.
okay, majority of the movies that go crossing over the line, yeah, there's a
Mm,
lot of sexual assault in movies,
mm,
absolutely. But the
yeah.
majority of the time, for the stuff that is in this film that is in the other films, but is not really
Mm,
spoken about because it's just put into the trash pile. You know what I mean?
mm,
In a
yeah.
way, in a way. But it's all violence, it's all murder, it's not sex. This is all
Yeah.
sex. Do you think that's a
Mm,
part of it? Yeah. Because the majority of the
yeah.
violence is sexual.
Mm,
80% of this, yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Extremely violent, extreme sexual
Yeah.
violence. And I think that's
Yeah.
why even the people who are, like a good extreme violent film with lots of people getting fucked up and killed and murdered,
Mm,
who doesn't. But when it comes to this kind of thing,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, I think it's another whole, yeah, level of discomfort. Yeah. So I'm still just, I was uncomfortable watching it straight
Yeah.
up, but, and it was a battle with myself at the whole time. This is a well-made film. This is a good made.
Mm,
This is a
it
very good
is.
film, and the context is strong. And yeah, he may be a piece of shit, this guy, the director, the person who wrote this
Mm,
Wikipedia article, but I think he did really make a comment about, his culture and the country that he lives in. Because I will say that it's cultural. It's a cultural commentary.
mm,
Absolutely. It's not just all the government censors. I think he said in this
mm,
that really has nothing to
yeah.
do with it. Yeah. It's just,
Mm,
as you say, victim porn, saturation, turning a blind eye, lots of rich, violent people who the government just, are probably in cahoots with or cannot
yeah.
touch, that sort of thing.
Mm,
All of, I think that's definitely the point of it. Not that he
yeah.
says on here we can go buy any ticket to any movie we want at any age and go and have a good time. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. It's just that he thinks that Serbia's fucked. As I
yeah.
said, it's fucked. And he wanted to show that, and he effectively showed it. So fuck it. That's why I'm going. It's a four.
Ah.
Mm, it's a four.
A
It's a four.
four. Oh.
Because that's the point he was trying to make, and he really fucking made
Mm,
it. And
yeah.
yeah, and it's an exploitation horror film. I don't have a good time watching it. I never will.
Mm, yeah.
It makes me uncomfortable as fuck. But when you go out to make an extreme film with a point, you want it to really make its point, and it really does.
Mm,
I'm giving it, it's a light four. Yeah.
yeah.
It's definitely a light four, but if it wasn't for the skill level involved, it would be a
Mm,
3.5
yeah.
for the politics of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the messaging of it, which is not perfect, but it's strong. And no
Yeah.
one was harmed along the way. And he should definitely be allowed to, this film should exist, and he should definitely be allowed to make more films because he's a very
Mm,
interesting director as
yeah.
well. There's a lot of cool
Yeah, definitely.
stylistic shit in
Yeah.
this film. But I totally get if no one ever wants to watch this film.
Yeah.
Okay. We
Yeah.
watch it
Completely
for you.
understandable.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Dorian, please go.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
I give it a 3.5. While
You
I
give
was
it a
watching it,
3.5. Okay.
yeah. While I was watching it, I'm there thinking, I wonder what I rated it last time. Because right now I'm feeling 3.5. I'm pretty sure it was 3.5. Oh, yeah. I did give it a 3.5 last time. So
Why not a
3.5.
four? Why not a
It's
four?
not quite enough for a four because like I do enjoy it, but not enough for me to say that I really genuinely enjoy it as a movie.
Yeah, okay. 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 See, that's my thing. I do.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I like it as a movie,
Yeah.
but fuck, it's not a good time. Does that make sense at
Yeah.
all?
Yeah,
Yeah?
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that ending though, oh my God, like it's always a gut punch. Like I knew what that ending was before the first time I saw it. That was the reason why I decided to watch it because I found out what the ending was. And I'm like, oh, that's actually really cool because that's so fucked. So when I watched it, I'm like,
Um,
oh my God. And then this
the
time
gut,
around watching it again,
please.
knowing everything for the film, and that ending still gets ya.
Absolutely. And another gut punch
Oh.
moment is when he reveals the family and he says a warm,
Mm.
happy Serbian family, something along those
Yeah,
lines.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the reveal that you have like Milos and his brother and his wife and his son, and then
Yeah.
Vukmir is there like, oh, look, this lovely, happy Serbian family. What are you trying to imply about Serbia, dude?
Yeah, what happens, eh?
Yeah, I don't,
Yeah. Facebook friend, I hope you're okay.
yeah, I don't think that that's actually happening there. I hope
If I'm
not.
wrong, I hope not. We really hope not. I was just the
Yeah.
media and da da da, and this is just the extreme version. And if I
Yeah.
have any of this wrong again, I see this through different eyes. Just what the
Mm,
movie shows me and the news tells us. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah. So we've done it. It's done. What's
Yeah.
next? Because
Oh,
what's next? Nothing really sprang up out of that organically.
yeah.
Let's move away from sex.
Hmm.
Is my only request. Can we just watch
Okay.
people fucking getting killed,
Yeah. All
please?
right. Hmm. Let's see. I mean, we were talking about martyrs earlier, so we may as well do martyrs.
We did mention that a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll do
In
martyrs.
terms that there is echoes of it, in terms of the physical assault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
But no,
martyrs.
no, no. Yeah.
Do not watch the remake. I think it's a 2015.
French only.
Yes. That remake
What's
is
the year?
essentially like a PG-13
Let's.
attempt at doing martyrs. It's not
Yeah,
worth your
yeah, yeah, yeah.
time.
No,
It's
I
not
never
good.
will. I haven't seen it. Never will.
It's not
No.
good. It's no,
Yeah. No, that's all I need to hear because
it's
Martyrs
not
is one
worth
of
it.
my absolute favorites.
Yeah, I love
We've
it.
yeah, we've talked about our appreciation of this film. 2008, is that the French?
I
Yeah,
think yeah,
Pascal
yeah. Yeah,
Laugier, how do
Pascal
you say his
Logier,
name?
yeah.
Laugier, thank you.
Yeah.
He is great. I really like him.
Mm,
He directs violence really well.
yeah.
Really, really well. Chaotic violence really well. And composed when he needs to be, don't get me wrong.
Mm.
Because there's just another film I want to sorry, give me a sec. Pascal, filmography. Ghostland. Have you seen Ghostland?
Mm. Yes.
I
Yep.
like Ghostland a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's off the wall. It's nuts. Goes everywhere.
I
But yeah,
liked the twist.
mm, yeah.
Yeah.
And
It was good.
old
Yeah.
mates having a little connection
Yeah.
and such. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you haven't seen it, recommendation. There's a
Yeah.
recommendation. Ghostland by Pascal Laugier, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Brilliant, brilliant. Anything you want to recommend? And then we'll close it off.
Let's see, what have I watched recently? I went and saw Smile 2 the other
Oh, give us
day.
a no spoiler, quick
Yeah.
little opinion
Um,
breakdown,
yeah.
please.
If you liked the first Smile, it's definitely worth checking out. It's a
Mm.
lot gorier. Um, this time around, it has like this whole cast happening to someone who is like a internationally famous pop star.
Pop star, yeah.
So, and she has her own personal demons and all that kind of stuff that she's trying to
Okay,
navigate.
cool,
And
good.
so the overall story would work really well, even without like this little smile demon happening in terms of her just losing her mind and trying to deal with all that.
That's Really good.
So yeah,
That's a good
yeah,
indication. If you take a monster out of a horror movie and it still works
yeah,
as a movie, yeah, that's a good sign.
yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Cool.
I really enjoyed it.
I'm going
Yeah.
on Sunday. I'm going on
Mm,
Sunday. I've got a day off. So yeah, no,
yeah.
definitely.
Also,
I've heard enough. Yeah, good things.
the opening is a one take.
Good to know. Okay. And also children, as always, Dead Meat has a great interview with Mark Finn,
Yes.
the director, up at the
Mm,
moment. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's that. Go see Martyrs. Stay dope, stay dangerous.
Yes.
Dangerous, Dorian.
I don't know. Go out and see some fucked up shit.
Yeah, as always. Whoa.